look so cute. And then I get the clips back and I'm like, crap, who punched me in the face
I don't
today?
ever I don't stare at myself too long because I always find things.
Mhm.
I'll just think, don't even look at yourself. Although I do feel pretty cute today.
I mean, that blue is cute on you.
Thanks.
And I like all your necklaces.
Thanks. Tarjay.
Oh, I was going to say maybe Edison Hills.
And we're getting one now.
Well, we've known that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She was here recording. Randy Porter finally put it up on Facebook.
It's official. We're getting a Home Depot and a Target.
Randy's the one that got to announce it?
Yeah. Well, they've been working on it forever, trying to get them to come here, but we didn't have the population. And now, you look at us as a micropolitan area. We're the fastest growing and one of the fastest growing in the country. 150,000 people in Putnam, White, and Overton County, according to 2020 census.
You're talking in the mic like you're
I
already
know.
doing it.
He's ready. Oh, okay.
That's why I'm talking into the mic. We might do something incredible here that he can use.
So we could talk about that on the show. Not that has anything to do with the two of you.
Well,
Well, he actually said it before
2 years
anybody
ago.
else said it.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
I've been saying it since they put the
He figured
plans
it out before anybody else.
Yeah.
Where is it going?
On Willow and I-40 across from the Palatial Star Motor Inn, where the celebrities stay.
Oh, interesting. Oh, in that big empty lot?
Yeah,
Oh, well, that'll be perfect.
yeah. And then that's also where the In-N-Out Burger's going to go.
Do we know that for sure? You just saying
No,
that's
no,
a Jason announcement.
No, I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to go. It's got 2 outlots for restaurants, and I figure that's where In-N-Out will be.
This is what the people want to know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes with Cookeville Lifestyle. Today, I have my friends and radio pros, Jason and Sheila of Good Morning Cookeville.
What's up?
Hi.
Hey, everyone. This is neat being over here on this side of the
Yeah, you're
control
sitting where
board.
I normally sit, and then I'm sitting beside myself.
I've never been here and not had to press the buttons.
Yeah.
Jason doesn't know what to do with his hands.
Yeah, I'm not Ricky Bobby.
He normally is on the control board
I'm on the ones and twos, as the kids say.
during Good Morning Cookeville, which airs every single day of the week.
That's right, 6 to 8 on Hub Plus, and
Well, Monday through Friday.
It feels like every day. I mean, I don't know how you guys do it. I have trouble organizing 4 episodes every 2 months.
Well, Sheila does a really good job of scheduling people and making sure that they come in. and
She does,
stuff,
and she sends reminders.
Yeah.
She does so good.
Well, it's everybody is so busy, and then we're on our. Every one of us has so much to do. We're in our own little bubble. I'm thinking we all need reminders. I know I do.
Yes.
So I try to remind folks.
I always am appreciative the night before when I get my text from Sheila
Yeah.
reminding me. But Jason and Sheila, Good Morning Cookeville airs on Cookeville Communications.
Mhm.
It airs on what is the...
Well, right now it airs on 107.7 and
107.7.
1400 The Hub. And then it on our Roku app, like your show, Hub,
Yes,
Hub
Hub
Plus,
Plus.
and that's on Roku, channel 192 on Spectrum, channel 192 on Twin Lakes, and then we also do YouTube and Facebook in the morning as well.
Right, so you can watch it from all different mediums and listen to it on the radio.
Well,
Terrestrial
that's
radio.
going to change a little bit here soon.
Oh, give me the tea.
So 107.7 on Good Friday, which is April the 18th,
Okay.
we'll be switching formats to Contemporary Christian.
Interesting.
So we won't be on 107.7 anymore, and we honestly don't know.
What channel
But we
number?
will be on video still. We'll still be on Hub Plus. No matter what, that's going to happen because this is going to be, Hub Plus has always been a 3 to 5 year plan
Right.
for us because at the rate that Cookeville's growing, the Upper Cumberland's growing. We were talking about it earlier. The micropolitan area, one of the fastest growing in the country.
Right.
We're at 150,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And so sooner or later, this area is going to need a
Local news station.
TV station.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to make sure that when that time comes, we're ready for it.
Yes.
And I think we will be. WCTE does such a great job with PBS and their shows, and they do a great job with that. But there's a whole other genre of things that they can't get to.
Yeah.
And then so we want to be sure that we do that stuff and work in conjunction with them instead of, we're definitely not competing with them, but working in conjunction with them.
And it's really a genius idea. I know Jason came to me maybe like a year ago about Hub Plus, about doing a show for Cookeville Lifestyle. And y'all were just getting the ball rolling. But now you have how many shows on the network?
Well, we got your show, our show, Randy Porter. We just added, can we say the Plenty Book store?
Yeah, she's agreed to do that.
Yeah, Plenty Book Store is going to be doing
Lisa
one.
Urick.
Yeah.
It'll be amazing because she is lovely.
She's great. We have a show with Michael England running the Upper Cumberland. That's starting.
The Runner Dudes.
Yeah, that's coming up.
He's my running coach. Shout
Right.
out.
Yeah. There's so many people he coaches.
I know.
He's a great coach, good motivator.
Well, yeah, he'll get on you if you don't complete your mileage too.
So we got them coming up. Of course, we've been doing high school sports.
Oh, nice.
Football. We just got done with basketball.
When do you do the high school sports?
Well, with basketball, we did it every Tuesday and Thursday.
On Good Morning Cookeville.
No.
Oh.
No, like the
Separate,
actual games.
Like the game was live.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we ran it with Upper Cumberland Reporter, which they were doing it right, so we just hooked up with them.
That's perfect.
Yeah, we formed some really great partnerships. Upper Cumberland Weather, Anthony Taylor.
Love him. He was one of our movers and shakers.
You can now on the Hub Plus app scroll over twice, and there's his channel.
Which people are locked in to Anthony Taylor when there's severe weather. Right. So that's genius.
So we wanted to be sure to give him a bigger platform, and so that's been really great for us too. So there's so many people doing great content, but there wasn't a big funnel to put all that into one spot.
Yeah.
Well, and I also think that we're right between Nashville and Knoxville has its core audience. Nashville has their core audience. And I think a lot of viewers, along with us too, we felt like this Upper Cumberland's kind of left out a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we get covered every now and then, but we feel like
shot,
we could really use a more localized TV station.
Right, because they barely touch on us when they're covering anything.
Right.
And now you don't have to have a big transmitter to have a TV station. You just have to have good internet. And
very true.
Thanks to the Lord and Twin Lakes, we've got it.
And that's very true. And I love that it airs on cable because I'm from the cable era.
Yeah.
And to me, like, now we're all famous because we're on cable television. Not really, but
it feels good, doesn't it?
And we're also working to get it on YouTube live, on their schedule. Because a lot of people use that. Hulu, Fubo, Tubi, Freevee.
Now you're just naming apps.
Wherever
it does sound
wherever. Well, I mean, they're all people.
We're working on it.
People use all that.
They do.
So we have to get on all of them at some point. So that's going to be a thing, and that we don't really know a lot about how to make that happen. But we're learning quickly about how to do that. So that's future plans.
And are you leaning on somebody to help fill you in on how to make all this happen, or?
Well, of course not, Chelsea. We're
Google or AI.
We're learning it the hard way, like we do everything else.
We do want to have a shout out to Mike. I can't say his last name good.
Politoski.
He is our engineer. He built the Hub Plus app for us.
Wow.
He came from a TV background, TV radio, and I don't even know how he went about doing it, but he did, and he's just one of a kind, and we're so lucky and blessed to have him.
Oh yeah. And then is he the one that streamlined when you're on Good Morning Cookeville, it like automatically is running through Facebook?
Yes.
I need him in my life.
He's brilliant. Yeah. So we've gotten really lucky. Then David has done a great job of stepping in and being, the editor and chief, I guess, of Hub Plus. So, and it wasn't anything that when he was hired, he was signed up to do, but he got thrown into the situation, and I think has done a fantastic job.
He just jumped in head first. We love David.
I mean, this is part of living as a creative. You have tools in your toolbox, and the second you're able to put those to work, that's when it's most fulfilling. So anytime that I get a chance to put my skills that, like, I've been editing videos since I was 15. So we're coming up on 11 years now. So like this is something I've been teaching myself and learning on my own the hard way the entire way through. So I'm happy to put it towards something new, and I'm like teaching our part-timer how to do like highlights and
What they call
Very
B-roll and all that.
yeah, it's kind of a hard thing for me to teach because I haven't really thought about it in that respect, where half of it is technical knowledge and half of it is taste and picking out what's important, what to include. If you're just switching cameras, do you say you switch every time Jason says yes or acknowledges something, or do you
Dude, in the
stay
morning,
with
I'm
it?
lucky to remember to switch the camera.
I'm like, why are you on so much,
Yeah,
Jason?
I just forget.
Why are you keeping it on yourself?
Sometimes
I'm here.
I'd forget to press the
Exactly.
button.
Come on.
You know?
We
But
need
no, seriously,
Star
I'm
of the
giving him
show.
grief right now. But I mean, he does an excellent job. I haven't done it. When he's off and I'm filling in, Mike, our engineer, comes in and
Yeah.
runs the switcher because I don't want to have to think about it.
Well, there's too many other balls you're juggling. at
Y'all
the
would
same
not
time.
want me to have to think about that and punch
Oh,
buttons at the
gosh.
same time. I
Oh,
mean,
no.
I used to run a board for years, but I didn't do a
Plus
camera
the,
work.
plus
on
the
top of it.
camera just be on you all the time because you're. I
Hey,
mean, let's
like it
face
is
it,
you.
you're a little
Star.
narcissistic.
I would talk if I were you.
Well, Jason and Sheila were also in our Most Influential People issue, the winter 2024, our latest one. And I wanted to dive in a little bit to y'all's story about, it's in here somewhere. You can pick it up,
Yeah.
come to my office, Biz Founder, or go to the radio station.
Yeah, I think we
I'm
still
sure
got
they have
some
some.
there,
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys have been in radio forever, right?
Yeah, forever.
We have
Forever.
our
You
very
are so old.
well, no, I mean, but probably since you were what, 15, 16?
Well, I've been getting paid for it since I was 15, but my dad was taking me to the radio station when I was in first grade.
When you were first born.
Yeah, I went to WHUB the day they let me go from the hospital for being a
good
baby.
Lord.
Yeah.
From being a baby?
From
Yeah.
just being born.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
right.
Well,
Yeah,
his dad wanted to show him off.
yeah.
That's
well,
where it
my dad
started.
worked at WHUB at the time, and they'd come up with this commercial. It was the new 1973 Grotter. They did it like it was a car commercial. And then so they brought me over there. So my first coos and cries were on the radio.
Wow. He was destined. And did you just always have this voice, or did you decide you wanted to be in
No,
radio?
He was born that way when he was a baby.
Yeah, I was all like, wah. I need a diaper change.
Wow.
My grandpa, his voice was even deeper. My dad's got a real deep voice, and it was just I don't know.
Genetics.
This is all I ever wanted to be. So I probably honed it because I wanted to sound cool.
Yeah.
But as far as training or anything like that, I didn't.
It's natural. All natural.
Yeah.
So you started working at WHUB when you were 15, right?
Started working at WPTN, which is now 106.1 The Eagle, when I was 15.
Okay. But in this area.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then you moved over and did some stuff with Lexington, Kentucky, or was it just syndicated in Lexington?
No, so at first, I was doing afternoons on the Country Giant when I was 19.
Okay.
And then there was a guy doing mornings, Michael Bandy, who's from here.
Yeah.
And we saw an ad in there used to be a newspaper they'd put out once a month for the radio industry called Radio and Records. And they wanted a morning show that would slay a giant, is what they said in the ad. So we're thinking they're talking about him, right? So we put together this fake morning show tape, and we send it to this P.O. box. Well, come to find out, it was Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
We thought it was some sort of Southern Kentucky tiny little station that we might have a shot at getting the job. So the program director at this station in Louisville liked it, and then so we called and said, well, we've never really done this before. We were faking that. And then so they had us up, and we did a show on a Saturday morning to make sure that it was, he wanted to make sure that what was on the tape was something that we could actually.
So you drove to
do
the
it.
radio station, 19 years old?
Yeah, to Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
And no, I was 20 by then.
Okay, so grown.
By the time, yeah, grown. Anyway, we did that, and they didn't know if they were going to offer us the job or these guys from Huntsville.
Ooh.
So we kept dogging these guys from Huntsville. We'd never met them, but we were dogging them the whole weekend long. And, of course, I wasn't old enough to drink, but they didn't know that. So they kept buying drinks. I was like, well, at least I'm going to get some drinks and some
A
food
good buzz,
out
yeah.
of this trip. And so did that. Well, sure enough, they called and was like, yeah, we'd like to offer you the job. And we thought we were big stuff. But looking back,
Sure.
He still does.
looking back, it was because we would do it the cheapest.
Oh, for sure.
Looking back, I know that now.
I'm picturing you guys like 20-year-olds normally, nowadays at least, they don't show up presenting the best.
Well, no, we did the best we could.
Were the Huntsville guys older?
I reckon. I don't know.
You don't know, but
I-
you know they could buy you beer, so whatever.
Yeah. So I was
Okay.
like,
You
I'm
don't
in.
know, but you sat with them and they brought you beer.
Right, yeah.
But he
Okay,
doesn't.
well.
But anyway, we ended up getting hired there. Then we went to Columbus.
And you were did you have to move there?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when you moved
Yeah,
there.
this was the old days before computers ran everything.
Okay.
So we were still playing songs off CDs and stuff like that. This would have
Wow.
been 1996, around that time. And then we moved to Columbus, Ohio, and worked in Ohio for a little bit. And then we went to Lexington, and we worked there the longest and did real well there. And then we decided that we wanted to go to a major market, and that required getting an agent. So we got an agent, and then we ended up working in Atlanta, Georgia for 5 years, and
Oh, wow.
became the most listened to country morning show in America.
And Atlanta is a major market.
Yeah,
Top 5, right?
Well, at that time, it was a top 3 market.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a big time. No, it was number 4, right behind Dallas.
That's huge.
Yeah. So so it was down there by the time I was 25 or 26, and
Radio star at
yeah,
25.
and it was fun. I wish I'd had some sense.
And when did you meet Sheila? And
Well, I'd met Sheila before all that started, but she claims I don't remember her,
You said you didn't remember.
which I totally do.
He said he didn't.
how could you forget?
Right. I remember Sheila. I was just saying that, Sheila, to give you a hard time.
And you met her in radio because Sheila, you also were in radio, correct?
Yeah, but he says I talk about myself too much. I think we're running out of time. Is that the
Well, she wanted to know the story.
I needed to know. I didn't realize that you were ever in Atlanta, so that's
Oh my
good
gosh, yeah.
information to have.
And then after that, moved back to Lexington.
He's not done yet.
and then Bandy, who I did the morning show with, and he was my best friend, and so many great memories
They
with
were
him.
big time. They really were. They won lots of awards and recognition. And
He
was on
passed
TV.
away,
Oh,
and then I
man.
kind of went off the, what do I do now? So I bought a radio station in Knoxville, and I learned a lot there about what not to do.
Oh, wow.
And
Which I've gotten on to him before. He's like, I failed in Knoxville. I'm like, you didn't fail because all of that leads up to where he's at today.
Yeah,
And
right.
you
yeah.
did great. You took a station and made it into a sports station.
yeah, Tennessee Sports Radio, and we did
J-Bay.
we
That's
did
what he was.
we did
Perfect.
pretty good there, and then I came to my class reunion, and there's a little girl there that I hadn't seen in 20 years, pretty as a peach still, and she had just got divorced and said she was moving back to Cookeville, and I thought, well, I ain't doing worth a damn here. I might
And
as well
that was
move
Donna.
back. That was Donna. So
His
it
wife.
ended up getting married. So I've been married for 10 years now. She wouldn't have given me the time of day in high school. So I'm doing something right.
Yes. So that's
Anyway,
why you moved back.
So
'cause of
that's my
Donna.
life's. Well, that and I had to do something because I wasn't doing
'Cause the radio station in Knoxville went
Yeah, yeah.
downhill.
Yeah.
So then you came back here and you didn't immediately work in radio, right?
No, I immediately got back in.
Okay. I know you've dabbled.
No,
in
I
different
immediately
things.
contacted my friends.
I got right back in.
But then enter Sheila. Sheila, you've been doing
Well,
radio
actually,
since
it
when?
You and Tony for a little.
Yeah. Jason and Tony. Yeah.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
And I had my own morning show for a long time. I was like, I had worked my way up in radio. I started out when I was like 18 or 19, and while I was going to college.
Where did you go to college?
In Montlow, Tullahoma. Not
Okay.
I know they're
I was
having
going to
a-
ask you about that. Are you sure it's Montlow?
or it's MIT, Montlow in Tullahoma.
Is it Montlow or is it Montlow?
No, Montlow.
Because is it named after the guy who worked at Jack Daniels?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was Montlow.
No, it's Montlow.
Not
The
according,
locals say Montlow.
not according to the Discovery Channel. I
The
watched.
Discovery Channel was not a local, and I lived there. That's where
I
I
watched
went.
it.
That's where I lived from when I was born all the way up to when I
Well,
graduated.
I watched the whole thing about
wow.
Jack Daniels, and
Well, then they need to contact me and my people
well,
because I have an
let's face it, Sheila.
have family that worked at Montlow and
growing
Jack
up, we thought it
Daniels.
was called Arsh Taters too, so
Right.
we don't know.
It's not Montlow. At least that's not what we say. Anyway, worked my way up and did.
And you did radio there.
I
in
started
Tullahoma.
overnights actually. And they don't do that anymore. But I was like live overnights,
my
and then worked
word.
my way
Me
up.
too,
And
Sheila.
God, why is the radio industry? They give you such grueling hours.
well,
Well, they
that's
don't
I
anymore.
didn't have any experience, so they're like. And then I even worked swap and shop, which helped
Oh,
me. Like
yeah.
I took callers live on the air.
Oh wow.
And it scared me to death. And I have to write down what they had for sale,
I
their
miss Swap and
phone number.
Shop.
I remember
learned
that.
so much by that show.
And then people would call in and try to buy it. Is that how it worked?
They would call in, or either they would
Call
say,
the person.
yeah, call the person. But they would call back. Sometimes they would call in while
Yeah.
you're on the air and go, "Hey, what was that number?" That
Basically on air classified.
Good
Yeah.
Lord, that's a lot to coordinate.
yeah,
And the
But I mean,
obituaries, you did
learned so
obituaries
much.
too, didn't you?
yeah, of course.
And that was all in Tullahoma.
No, that was in Shelbyville, Tennessee.
Okay.
And then I got married to my husband Tim, whom I met in radio too.
Yeah.
He did news and had his own own show, and then did play-by-play
Was
sports.
he in
and everything.
Shelbyville too?
He was in
Okay.
Shelbyville. Then we married. We worked there a little bit, and then came to Cookeville in 1991, and then for a brief stint in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I worked there for a little bit. Was program director there. Was program director here in Cookeville for a little bit, and just worked my way up from like midday show to the afternoon show, and then morning drive.
And that's
then
where
was
you want to
music
be.
director. Also, I'm public affairs director. Just kind of did a little bit of everything in radio. I mean, radio's been my passion.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've
So-
been in it forever. And have you been over at Cookeville Communications your entire career in Cookeville?
No,
No, you've
no.
hopped
It's
around.
it started with Joe Wilmuth Broadcasting, like JWC Broadcasting.
Well, you
and
started with the medleys.
started with the medleys, yeah, over on Spring Street when we first moved. They're the ones that actually brought us, me and Tim, to Cookeville.
They brought radio
Wow.
to Cookeville.
They sure did. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize all
It's
that.
where Rocky Matlock's
Insurance. company.
insurance company is now. That
Okay,
was
yeah.
on Spring Street. That's where I first started. Yeah.
Wow.
And then Sunny 95
Oh yeah.
Was that
with Larry Nunn.
a top 40? Or have you always
No,
been in country?
That was Sunny 95 was country.
That was country.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, I have said this before, but when I was growing up, the local radio personalities were the local celebrities. Like when you would go and see them out, there would be a line of people waiting to meet them and talk to them because that's really all we didn't have Spotify or any of that back then, you know, and that's how we listen to music.
Mhm.
So people definitely, I'm sure, recognize the two of you since you've really been
Well,
on air here for so long.
You know, sometimes, but you bring up something really great. You know, there wasn't Spotify, there wasn't all this stuff, and radio, and especially music. You know, we used to have shared experiences. You know, all of us.
There was barely even Facebook.
We'd all
when
be
we were
driving
first-
down the road, listening to the radio. A new song would come on, and then we'd all be talking about that new song.
Right.
Well, now you can hear it so many different places. No one hears it at the same time anymore. The shared experience of audio,
Mm-hmm.
of video, it's gone. You know, 'cause you
I
can-
think that's kind of why we love doing Good Morning Cookeville so
Right,
much because we
'cause it's
invite people to
live.
come in, and there's nothing like doing a show live. Nothing like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I can't explain what that is. I know we can still record it and it's still fun, but it's not like knowing. I was watching an interview with, and not that we're comparing ourselves to these, but Jake Gyllenhaal and the ones that's in Othello. They're in the play. Gosh, I forgot the other actor who's in it.
Well,
But
you
John
anyway,
Bernthal?
Richard Gere,
No,
no,
that's Odyssey.
Denzel Washington.
Natalie Portman,
Denzel
Okay, there you
Washington.
go.
I knew it would come to me. Denzel
Bruno
Washington.
Mars.
He was talking about how much different it is being on stage doing it live because you are there, even though you're prepared, things could happen. It's live.
Yeah.
And then you've got to keep going no matter if you mess up or not.
Right.
And Lord knows I mess up all the time.
Boy, I
So
tell
I
you.
just, I just keep going, but it's fun. I never know what he's going to say, the reaction to what he has with some of the crazy words I say or mispronunciations.
No, you guys clearly are professionals. The rat-a-tat, the
He
back and
is, and I
forth.
just have fun.
I mean, y'all are funny, and that's refreshing because some radio personalities are very like dry and bland.
Well,
and-
there's radio personalities and there's radio announcers.
right.
And I never wanted to be
A
an
disc
announcer.
jockey
You
or
know, I grew up with Coyote McLeod and Carl P. Mayfield and Jerry House.
Mm-hmm.
And I've spent a career just pretending I'm them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think you know this about me. When I was going to school and studying
I
communications,
know about your stripper days.
he is lying about that. He gets people started on things, and then they think that it's true. But no, I actually got
We'll
the
use
job
that in the highlight
doing-
clip.
doing
Was
it.
Sheila Scruggs a
And
stripper?
then my mama and daddy would be going, I did not know this
Yeah.
because it didn't happen.
Kept it hid real well.
But no, I did. I was doing like impersonations, and they were like, "Call up, do the impersonation again." It was like,
Ooh.
do the impersonation again.
Can
and
you
it
do
was
an
like,
impersonation of Jason?
of Jason?
Okay, well, what impersonations were you
I
doing?
did
over
like
the
Tammy Faye Baker. That's when all that was going on. It was popular. I did Cher.
Oh, do a
And
Cher
Oh,
That
impersonation.
was like when I was 20. Do you know how long ago that's been?
Okay, well now next on Good Morning Cookeville, tune in because Sheila's gonna have to pull some out of the vault, and I am going to be watching.
Man, that'd be great.
But you remember Tammy Faye when she was crying and all
Yeah,
that
how the
stuff?
makeup and all
Yeah,
that.
I would do that.
Oh,
Just
okay.
be a personality by
See,
mocking others.
Oh, it came naturally
I
to
always
you.
wished I
always.
could
I don't know
imitate
about that.
people that were famous. I can only imitate like locally famous people.
I got
Oh my
out of that for some reason. I don't
I don't know. I
know.
never was able to imitate.
I'm like, I'm
anybody.
in now. Let me be myself.
Yeah.
I want to know what local famous people you can imitate.
He can do a great Philip Gibbons.
Oh, please.
Hello, Chelsea.
No.
It's me, Philip Gibbons. 94.7, the country giant.
That was so perfect.
Isn't that great?
Spot on. I was going to say, when we went to Philip Gibbons' big birthday bash,
Yeah.
where he was basically the coolest person
Yeah.
ever,
That's
Yeah.
right.
I heard his story, and I'd known he'd always done radio, but you're going to top him one day. You're going to have, you were a baby in there.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I had a lot of great opportunities because my dad was in it.
I mean, the longevity of Philip's career.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
One day you'll be able to say, oh,
Well, I've often said I am totally blessed to be making a living. And it's not like I'm setting the woods on fire and like rich, but making a living doing something I love doing,
what you love.
that I'm passionate about. I mean, that's
Well,
very few people can say
anytime
that.
you can make a living sitting in a room and talking out loud for money
Where it's air conditioned.
where it's air conditioned, I
Right.
mean, that's good.
And in, you
And
know,
especially because you're working with
'Cause I'm
me.
really only qualified to do this or swing a hammer.
And you know he loves working with me.
I don't know.
That's his favorite part, don't you think?
oh, of course.
Duh.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But Jason does so much other than just host Good Morning Cookeville now. He runs the radio station.
Well, that's been interesting too because, you know, that these are the stations that, you know, I would go to when I was a little kid.
Right.
And you know, the very first time I was on the radio, I still walk past that door every day. The very first time I was ever like on the radio, knew it, not like when I was a baby at WHUB, but
No.
as a kid who knew what was going on in first grade.
Right.
You know, they would take me there on Saturdays, and I'd play Casey Kasem's Top 40
Wow.
because it came on a record back then. And so you would, you know, they need someone to play it off a record. So I'm in first grade sitting there playing Casey Kasem's Top 40 off the record.
I think those are some child labor laws that were being.
Well, not there.
abused.
There was several full-grown adults
Okay.
in there. Roger Ely was the one technically getting paid to be there.
Oh, dang it.
You know, Jason can do it.
You could have been banking the
He's
money
doing
back
Roger
then.
Ely now too.
Oh, okay.
Now, Jason, I'll go back here and take it out, Jason.
I'll take a nap.
You can run that.
That's hilarious when you were 7, because a first grader is like 7.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. But then for my pay, they'd let me take the record home.
Perfect.
And then that would be all the top hits on that one
Yeah,
record.
yeah.
Well, that's
Because,
kind of exciting for a
Oh, it was,
7-year-old.
are you kidding? It
Oh,
was
yeah.
great. Yeah.
But Jason is the big boss over there, and now Sheila is the head of sales, right?
I'm not the head,
Oh,
no.
I think that you're the head.
Thanks.
In my mind, you are.
Heck, Sheila got a promotion today.
I
Jason,
appreciate
that's on you. No, I'm
I'm
kidding.
really nobody. I'm just working to make a living.
Sheila's doing great. She's one of those people that people love her, they trust her, and if Sheila says it, then that means it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Or she'll at least die trying to make it happen. And that's the kind of salespeople we're looking for at Cookeville Communications, that are honest up front and get the job done. And Sheila, checked all those boxes off. Plus,
I know everything about radio because I've done it since I was 18.
right.
Yeah.
And she got a passion for it.
Yeah, she does. And you guys interview so many people on Good Morning Cookeville that I feel like y'all know everyone in town at this
Feels
point.
like we do, yeah. Yeah, people call me about someone getting arrested on the side of the road, like I know. Hey, I was driving down Willow, saw somebody get arrested. What's going on there? It's like, well, I don't.
You're not reporting hard news over here.
I don't know what's happening.
But anyway,
I could make something up.
Yeah, and they call me going, hey, will Jason let us do this? And I go, I'm not his keeper.
and you don't take live calls either to Good Morning Cookeville.
No, we
Could
don't.
you?
Well, yeah, we
Oh,
could.
please open those phone lines up. I want to see what
But,
comes
uh,
Go
through.
back to my swap and shop days where I took live callers.
We also don't have a delay,
Yeah.
which we
Oh.
would need, especially this day and time. Maybe back in the day, when Sheila was doing swap and shop, it was still black and white TV and Andy Griffith and
Look, you started when you were like 14, so I'm sure it was still
Petticoat
black.
Junction, stuff like that was
It was
on.
before my time.
Everything was still in mono then, so she didn't have
Why
to
do I
worry
put
about
up with him?
This is why they're so great together, people. So if you want to hear more of this, tune in every single
But,
morning.
to be honest, I don't know why people do.
For me.
Oh, yeah. That's got to be it.
I was so joking on that.
Yeah.
She did. I will. In this one funny story, we were talking about like the cover of this edition of Cookeville Lifestyle that you guys were in, and we were saying we chose the cover. We wanted a female to be on the cover, and then because we hadn't had one in a while, and some other factors, and we just thought Shane was perfect. And she looked at Jason and said, "Thanks a lot, Jason. You kept me from the cover."
Well,
I don't
listen,
even remember saying that.
No. So, like on this big thing that you brought in here.
Oh, yes.
All right,
Jason
so
Sheila.
so she gets on to me because I'm front and center on this
He
deal.
certainly
And
is.
she thinks I did that. She thinks I lobbied for that.
I think he did.
And now, Chelsea, will you please tell her right now that
He lobbied, didn't he,
I
Chelsea?
did not lobby to be in the center of the whole thing.
I did not even realize that. He did not.
Separated us, everything.
Listen, you're seated and he's standing. That's why it looks like that. But that's
Right.
actually a picture of you two together.
Right. That's what I tried to tell her. She wouldn't believe me.
Designing this is harder than you.
No, I
could
would,
imagine.
we're
No,
just
I know
picking
you're
on each other,
joking,
but,
but that was.
I think that's a beautiful cover.
She's joking now.
but she was
But back
really
then,
mad.
how did
I
you
was
get?
not really
How
mad.
did you get front and center? I was like, well, Sheila, I don't know.
He always weasels his way into getting
I
his
didn't weasel
story
my way
out
into anything, Sheila.
in the middle of everything, and then I'm just like over here making it happen,
You're keeping the wheels turning,
Yeah.
getting people to come in.
booking guests, and if you
Listen.
have,
I already said at the beginning of this what a good job you do.
You did, but it is harder than people think.
it is very
It is
hard.
very
I
hard.
don't remind anybody of anything, and it has really hurt me
It
several
is-
times.
Well, it's
so-
hard even when you remind them. And then what is cool is that we just kind of roll with the flow. I know he's going to do his job, and I think he knows I'm going to do mine, even though he says I'm late.
Well, there's no doubt.
Let's come front and center now. I am never late.
No, you're never late, but it always scares me because I'm a super
like to
on
keep him on his-
time guy.
When he says super on time, guys, he gets there 30 to 40, maybe an hour. Maybe an hour.
On an hour,
Before?
but definitely 30 minutes.
Definitely 30.
You get here at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
Oh, good Lord. Every day. These two work hard, people.
I get here at 5:30. We go on the air at 6.
And does Sheila roll in at like 5:55?
5:55.
Okay, that's fine.
It's 10 till.
It was
15 to 10.
technically this morning it was 5:56. You think I don't keep up with that?
Okay,
but I
and then
do.
how long am I like texting people, reminding them, and trying to get them to come in for
She
Good
does a
Morning
lot of
Cookeville?
after
I will
hours.
say this,
work.
you know, she does come in full makeup and all that, so she's not over here putting makeup on before we go on.
It
there.
is
He demands
hard
my
work.
attention.
I call it fully furnished.
Listen, it's hard to be a woman and fully do your hair and makeup every day, and she does it. So she
I know.
probably gets up way before you.
I don't know. If
Thank you, Chelsea.
There you go.
Oh,
We've solved it.
all right.
Anyway, if you want to hear these two hilarious people,
He can, if he wants to schedule people, he can do that.
I don't want.
okay,
to.
reach out to Jason if you'd like to be on Good Morning Cookeville.
You'll never hear back.
But if you do have something interesting in town, they can send you a message on Facebook or
Oh,
something. Right?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And a lot of people have my cell number, but I'm not going to give that out right here. But
You can
'Cause they
stop by
probably
any
need
truck
guests.
stop, except for maybe the new TA. I think they're keeping it pretty clean right now.
oh, it's more classy, huh?
but they're leaving it up at Love's now.
Oh my gosh. I love you
so
too. And thank y'all for
Love you,
being
Chelsea.
here.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it. Did we do everything you wanted us to?
Oh yeah. Would you want to plug anything else?
Hey, we got a new radio station that's starting on 107.7 on Good Friday, and it's going to be a contemporary Christian music station.
that.
So that'll put me and Sheila in a little bit of flux, but
if I choose to work with you again,
I think we know what we're doing on that deal, and we'll be announcing that a little
if
bit
I'm not
later.
late.
So just stay tuned to their.
Sorry, we're trying to wrap up, right? I'm sorry.
No, Jason will boot her out. No, I'm kidding. He could never do it without Sheila.
I would never do it without
He
Sheila.
could do it
And
without
I told her
me.
that before. I'll never do it without her.
So stay tuned to Good Morning Cookeville
sounded
to
like he meant
find
it.
where the home is. But Hub Plus, we're all on the same network, Cookeville
Yeah.
Lifestyle Show and Good Morning Cookeville.
Oh, also, if you've got some great local content that you think would work, we'd love to talk to you about you having your own show.
Yeah.
As well. The more the merrier.
As long as you don't take my spot, we're golden.
You're set. You're set in stone.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.